What's going on, guys? Dylan back like I never left, but I did leave for a while. Probably over a month now that I haven't posted a video. I'm sorry. But we're back, and this is my 2K subscriber special, so I hope you guys are excited. I got a ton of questions from you guys. Thank you again for asking for all those questions because I really needed them. And I'm going to start answering all these questions for you guys. I'm going to have a kind of like an interview style. You know, I got these two cameras going, so it should be fun. If you guys like videos like this, I post a lot of tennis content, a lot of match play. I'll start posting some ball machine stuff, so go ahead and hit that like button now so I know that you guys enjoy this stuff. And please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you always get updated when I post a new video. And always, guys, follow me on Instagram as well. Let's get into the video. Let's start with the first question. We got a basic one. How tall are you and how much do you weigh? I am 5'7" on a beautiful day. I mean, when the sun is shining, I got the right shoes on, I'm standing with my shoulders back a little bit. Maybe I got a nappy head, kind of like I do now, but I think probably officially like 5'6" and 3/4, not quite 5'7" yet. And I range between 145 to 150. Really just depends how much water weight I'm having that day, I guess, or if I, took a big dump. I'm not really sure, but I really range between those 5 pounds, 145 to 150. It's tough for me to gain weight. I have a high metabolism, or maybe I just play too much tennis. That's actually probably it. Next question is coming in. How many years have I played competitive tennis and when did I start? So competitive tennis, I guess, would be like my first time ever playing a USTA match. That would probably be when I was 12 years old. I think I started off like around 10 hitting the tennis ball, maybe 11. I got a late start compared to most juniors who are starting like 5, 6, and they just have that natural talent. But I didn't actually win my first tennis match until probably 12 and a half, 13. I think I went like 0 and 10 for a while, so it was tough. I remember winning that first match. It was at the Dominion Club here in Virginia. I still remember the court, and I remember what that kid looked like. I can't remember his name, but I remember my first USTA win very, very well, and it was a good moment for me. Next question is, do I think about my opponent's weaknesses, or am I trying to maximize my own strengths while playing a match? Now, I really, really like this question for a lot of reasons because it really goes deep into like what I'm thinking during a point. So I'm definitely very, very aware of what my opponent's weaknesses are, and I would say 80% of the time it's usually the backhand. And so my inside out forehand, I know, is very, very strong. And so I try to use that to my advantage whenever I can, attack that backhand with my inside out forehand. Now, when I'm playing a lefty, things change. As Essential Tennis will tell you, you gotta attack their backhand by using your cross-court forehand. I know for a fact my cross-court forehand is not world class. It's not the best out there. And I actually have a lot of trouble being aggressive with my cross-court forehand. So playing a lefties, I definitely am looking at going into the backhand, but it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for me. But in my normal match play when I'm playing righties, I'm definitely trying to find that weakness and using my inside out forehand to my advantage. Next question is, what comes into my mind on big points? Say you're down 5-4, but you're at break point, so you could tie it up or you could lose the set if you lose this game. Honestly, now, before, when I was in college and junior, I was getting really tight, getting really nervous because I just thought everything rode on this point and I made this point bigger than it needed to be. The key is you gotta play every single point like it's a big point. No point is different. You're getting 1 point. If whether you lose or win, you're either gonna win that point or you're gonna lose that point, and you gotta play every single point like that. And if you can start taking that mentality into early points in the game, early in the set, and start having that Rafa mentality where every single point matters, because it really does in tennis. Every single point matters, and you guys are gonna do substantially better. Now, when I'm playing these matches, I'm just thinking, wow, this adrenaline that's coursing through my veins, like I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I love this. I live for these moments because working your office job, I don't think it gives you that same adrenaline rush that playing a tennis match would. And so that's what I really, really love. And so when I get into those, I'm up 40-30 and I really need to hold to serve out this set, I'm excited. I'm loving it. I love that adrenaline, that anxiety feeling. And so I guess that's what's going through my head during those big points. The next question is, how have playing tournaments helped me improve my game? And I think the answer to this is it's a must. You gotta play competitive matches, you gotta play tournaments, you gotta see how you're gonna do match in, match out, and playing multiple matches maybe in a day. There's no other way to get better. You can play recreationally and you definitely have your practice sets. Practice sets are super important, but you gotta play in these tournaments because that's when the nerves get real and things get real and you start to learn to be comfortable under that pressure and anxiety. And being comfortable under that pressure and anxiety is what makes people so much better than others. They just have nerves of steel. The only way to get there is to continually put yourself into those tough situations. That's the only way you're gonna learn. If you're winning every single match 6-0, 6-0, you're not actually learning anything. You're not improving on anything because they didn't even give you a fight. Now, winning a match 7-6, 7-6, I guarantee that you came out of that match with lessons. Or if you lost, you came out of that match with some concrete things that you could learn and focus on and take into your next matches as you play. The next question is, can you give us some background on how you got into tennis, what kind of training you went through, and getting into a college team? So like I said, I started playing pretty late, 11, 12. I started playing a lot in middle school. The club that I'm a member at used to be walking distance from my middle school. So every day after school, I used to walk there and go play some tennis for maybe about 2 hours a day. My junior career, I did not train as hard as I could have. I'm actually training harder now than I ever have in the past. And I think that's why my game is improving so much. But I knew I wanted to play some sort of college tennis. I think when I first started, I had this ambition to go play D1 tennis at UVA because I saw Jameer Jenkins come play one of these professional tournaments around Richmond, and I thought he was the coolest person ever. And I was like, I'm playing D1 at UVA. And then I slowly came to the realization that maybe that's not realistic based on my skill level right now. But I knew I wanted to play college tennis. I just didn't know where yet. I know there were some good D3 schools here in Virginia, University of Mary Washington, and also Christopher Newport University. I actually went in and talked to the University of Mary Washington coach, and he wanted nothing to do with me. He said my ranking wasn't high enough, and I was still given a tour around the facilities, and it was cool. I think they had really cool facilities, but then I actually ended up going to CNU to play a tournament there. And I think I impressed the coach based on my fight. I was able to beat somebody who usually should have beaten me pretty easily, and I think he saw where my ceiling could have been, even though I wasn't there yet, and he was able to give me a chance. But the only way that I was even able to get that chance was playing tournaments. You gotta play tournaments. If you're not playing tournaments, you're not gonna get that exposure. You're not gonna get that real life experience. And also, that's where college coaches are. They wanna see you playing these tournaments. You gotta play these tournaments. Even outside of high school tennis, you gotta play these USTA tournaments, these UTR tournaments. The more matches on your resume, the better. Cool. The next question is, what, if any, conditioning training drills do you do to maintain your speed on court? Any tips to improve on moving on clay better? Weird wording, but I understand what you mean. So in high school, I ran track. I ran AAU track as well, and so I guess that kind of gave me my base speed. I've always been into fitness. I love working out, and I remember in college when we'd be doing our Tuesday running drills, I would be the only one who was super excited about it. I just love that feeling of completely draining your body of all the energy and just leaving it all out on the court. That's just kind of my thing. Call me crazy, I love it. So I've always been in good shape. I've always tried to keep my anaerobic cardio up. Actually right now, my anaerobic recovery is actually very, very poor, and I'm working on it. Don't you worry, I'm working on it. But in terms of moving better on clay courts, you know what I've noticed a lot with even college players, because most college play in the United States is played on hard courts, is that when they come to clay, they don't have the right shoes. What? You gotta have the right shoes. And I'll link some shoes down in the description on what I'm using right now, but you gotta have the right shoes. If you're not using a clay court shoe on clay, then you're just gonna be slipping and sliding all over the place and you're not gonna have any success at all. Also, you need to be doing your running drills on clay so you learn how to maintain that balance throughout the points, shifting back and forth. But we all know tennis is quick acceleration this way, stop, quick acceleration the other way, stop. So those are really, really important. On another note, my college coach told me that he uses grass court shoes on clay because he doesn't want to slide at all. Now, I've never even worn grass court shoes. I've never played on a grass court. If you guys have a grass court around the area and you want to sponsor me to come play there, let me know. I would love to play on some grass courts. Please, please reach out. But I like clay court shoes. They help me maintain my balance. I can still slide, but I don't lose complete traction when I'm trying to push off. And then, you know, sometimes if you're playing on bad clay courts and they're just dry, there's really nothing you can do about that. Two-part question here. What do you think holds back 3.5s, 4.0, 4.5 players? And what's the biggest thing they can improve on? I think it's gonna be consistency. Consistency, fitness too. Fitness is huge. Now a lot of times when you see 3.5, 4.0, 4.5 players, maybe this is just from my experience, they're usually adults, older adults. I guess I'm an adult too. It's kind of scary, but yeah, older adults, and so maybe their fitness is not as good as they wanted it to be, but it's got to be the consistency. And consistency comes from the legs. If your legs are there, you're gonna be hitting every shot on balance. So get your fitness up, get your consistency up. And the only way to do that, more hours in the court and more hours in the gym, which is not feasible for everybody. I understand that. It's not even feasible for me sometimes. My joints start to hurt, but I'm 24, so I can't really complain. But you got to get that consistency up. That's going to be the biggest thing. Next question is specs on my racket. So I am using the Pure Strike Tour. It is the heaviest model. I've always thought it was a little head heavy and I had trouble adjusting to it, especially on my kick serve. I had previously played with a 10-4 racket and I believe this one is an 11-3 unstrung. Don't quote me on that. I'll put the specs up right here so you guys can see that. But that's what I'm playing with right now. I use ADV wristbands. I use Advantage Tech under grips and stuff for my rackets. And then I use ADV's over grip over top of that if I'm not using Turner that day. I also use ADV's dampener, really like their dampener. VT Advantech had sent me their dampening strips. Just made my racket a little bit too heavy and we talked to them about that. I love their other products though and I'll be featuring a lot of that stuff soon. Next question is, what's the #1 tip I have for someone who aspires to play at my level? First of all, I take that question as a compliment, thank you, because in my mind, I never think, damn, I'm good at tennis. I'm just always like, there's always something better I can improve on. But I'd say the #1 tip, oh man, this is tough. I think you gotta want it. You gotta want it because people are gonna make excuses on why they can't train. If you wanna train and you make it a priority in your life, you'll find time, you'll find a way. So you have to want it. And I know that's freaking cliche of me, but what are you gonna do? Next question is, what are some things I should do to prepare for my upcoming match? And also, what should the mindset be going into a match? So 48 hours before a match, you gotta be hydrated, you gotta be eating right. I mean, you should be hydrated and eating right all the time, but you should always be 48 hours before a match, completely hydrated. As my coach in college would say, piss and clear, make sure you're piss and clear. It means you're just water, especially in these hot Virginia summers where it gets super humid. And if you're down south, it's probably even more humid. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And especially if you're playing on clay, it's gonna be long, rolling matches. You wanna make sure you're eating right. You wanna make sure you're having a lot of good food inside of you. And now I'm not a nutritionist, so I'm not gonna go recommend what you should and should not be eating. I've tried all kinds of different diets. You're gonna have to find the one that works best for you, but make sure you're eating good, clean food, no chips, no candy. And that's me. I'm a huge proponent of eating candy. I have a sweet tooth. So you gotta cut all that out 48 hours before that match so your body is physically ready to play that battle. And that way you become more mentally confident that you have this because you've done that preparation. The hay is in the barn, as they would say. Now your mindset coming in, I had some issues with this for the longest time. Now this is really important here because one of my boys, Justin Cerny, he played at CNU as well. He said this to me recently and it really helped the way that I've been playing my matches. I used to go into my matches, my junior college career, all of that just nervous. Just, I have to win. If I don't win, they're gonna think I suck. I don't want them to think I suck. If I suck, then no one's gonna wanna play with me, and everyone's just gonna think I suck. You cannot go in like that. Or you can't go in expecting a win, because you never know what's gonna happen in tennis. He said something to me that that kind of actually really stuck with me, and I don't know if he realizes it, but he said, you just gotta go in ready to compete your ass off. You know, I, Dylan Sykes, am gonna go into this match and I'm not gonna think about winning or losing. I just know that I am 100% gonna compete my ass off, and that's all I can ask of myself. When you say that, it's so freeing. You go into the match with no self-expectations, because those are honestly the most crippling. The self-expectations are the ones that are really gonna get you. You go in saying, as long as I compete my ass off, I stay level-headed, and I just try. I think Daryl Cummings actually said that I was a massive tryhard, and it's so true. Just compete your ass off, and that's the only thing you should be telling yourself. The points will come. If you're competing your ass off and you're staying mentally sound, the points will come. And so the wins, the sets, the matches, they'll come, I promise. Next question is, did you get better by just practicing on your own / with friends, or did you have a coach? And how much work did you put in to get to this level? So growing up, I had a couple different coaches, then they moved away or they stopped working. And I would say actually probably like the last 2 years of high school, in terms of a tennis coach, I was kind of on my own, and I don't think that helped my motivation factor, and I probably could have played at a better level if I was training as much as my friends were, but you know, that's neither here nor there, and that's all in the past. What I did have was I had a very, very good fitness coach, and actually still is my fitness coach, and probably consider him one of my best friends. He is probably 25 years older than me, but he has always been there for me, and me and him see each other almost weekly, working on fitness stuff. I'm texting him all the time, asking him, hey, is this okay? Is this workout okay for me? And it's been a really good resource in my life. So tennis coaches have been here and there recently, which has really helped me, is I've kind of had you guys be my tennis coach. Hey, Dylan, stop hitting the people's forehands. Thank you. Honestly, you guys have been awesome. You guys have honestly been my kind of surrogate coach, basically. But I have been looking for someone recently to really help me take my game to the next level. So if you guys know anybody in the Richmond area who was willing to take on this 24-year-old and help me get my UTR up, please let me know. I would love to work with them. I'm really looking for somebody. That'd be great. Next question is, what other hobbies do you have outside of tennis? I don't know, I love tennis. I keep playing tennis, I don't know, and I wake up in the mornings and I'll go to the gym for tennis, and then I'll go after work, I'll go play tennis. But I guess I enjoy video editing. I enjoy making content for you guys, so that's a lot of the time spent too. I have a dog, so me and him spend a lot of time together. I'm a software engineer, so I'm coding most of the day, and I love what I do. It's a good career path for me. Hanging out with my friends, and tennis. If you ask any one of my friends and they say, what is Dylan's hobby? They're just gonna say tennis, but I don't think tennis is a hobby. I take it a little bit more serious than that, but it's okay. People will call it a hobby, other people will be, whatever. Next question is, how many hours a week do I play? So I try to play about 6 days a week, which is a lot. And when I'm really going after it, probably an hour and a half in the morning, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours in the afternoon, so you guys can do the math. It's a lot of tennis. I've had to slow it down a bit just due to injuries, and I've incorporated more lifting and fitness into my routines instead of on-court stuff. In terms of on-court stuff, I feel like I have good fundamentals and I'm confident in my on-court stuff, and I really feel like taking my fitness even higher to the next level will help my tennis game drastically. So I'm starting to spend less time on court, maybe an hour and a half a day, 5 to 6 days a week, maybe 2 hours. And a lot of that is focus work, when I'm just with me by myself on the ball machine, doing some things, certain shots that I need to work on, and a lot of times in the gym. But I probably will start ramping up my tennis again come springtime, when these matches are going to start getting more grueling and I need to be playing outside in that heat and getting used to that heat for a long, long time. Next question is when I will be coming to Northern California. I don't know. Buy me a plane ticket. Let me know. I'll be there. And the last question is, who is my favorite player? That's tough. I don't know. Team has been looking really cool recently. I love that one-hander he hits. It is super cool. But I've always kind of been a Rafa and Federer fan. Djokovic too. I go back and forth on Mr. Joker because after that US Open thing, it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. But like, I just love how he's so not flashy. And that's my game. I'm not flashy. I put balls in court, hit across court, and I come in on my opportunities. And I just love how Djokovic's game is just so not flashy, and that's just what it is. Guys, thank you for watching. If I didn't answer any of the questions you guys had, please leave them in the comment section below. I will get to every single one of them. I promise I will. I got a ton of footage coming up for you guys. I got about 4 or 5 matches that I'll be posting. Yo, follow me on Instagram because I post a lot of highlights and stuff that you guys will not see here on YouTube. So I'll put my tag right here. It's also down in the description. Please go follow me there. I promise you guys will not regret it. But hey guys, you know, I'm back. I made a video for you guys. I tried my best. I'm so sorry it took so long. Peace.